Hi, Al at HANKSTERS of Daytona Beach, Florida. Today we have a real special guest, as we do every day. We got another Bronco, first generation, 302 V8 motor, like they came with. They came with a 6-cylinder standard, but 302 is optional. This particular one has a Carter AFB on it, Edelbrock carburetor. It has a tarantula style intake manifold, separate runners, individual runner intake manifold. It has a set of 1 5/8" tubular headers on it, long tube headers, give you a lot more power and a lot more lower range torque too. Has a 4-pass aluminum radiator in it, has power steering, power disc brakes, and air conditioning with an updated compressor on it. And even in addition to that, this particular car has a double stack oil cooler. Not one oil cooler for a tranny, but 2 oil coolers for a tranny with its own individual cooling fan with it. So a great addition to a car like this is going to be used in sometimes severe duty. It has a new air conditioning condenser in the front, 2 fans on it for the radiator and the air conditioning condenser, new battery. It retains its original windshield wiper system on it with the washers. Just a fantastic vehicle. It's even got a cooling tower for the power steering unit for severe duty. So it was built as a heavy-duty off-road vehicle. Incredibly done. Again, 302 built motor, got a nice strong cam in it, an HEI distributor in it, all the amenities, steering, brakes, air, everything done as it should be. Even has the prop rods, the shocks for the hood to hold it up in place. Fantastic vehicle. Fiberglass hood with a domed scoop style on it. Great looking vehicle. Okay, looking at the front end of our little Bronco. Fiberglass hood, like I stated. You can see it's a dome style, more of a cowl induction type looking hood. Gives it a little bit of a pop than the standard hood. Hood pins to hold it down. The grille is blacked out like it should be to give it a little bit more of a pop, a little bit more effect. Very special set of headlights in it, LED lights. Parking light lenses are just as clean and amber and nice as they should be. It does have a winch in the front of it, very, very heavy duty. I believe it's 8,000-pound winch, so you're going to be capable of pulling about 3 of these out with it if you have to. It has a real substantial brush guard in the front housing that winch so that you don't, just have it hanging out there. It's attached very solid into the front frame structure. So it's not something that's just hung on and bolted on. This thing is substantially attached to the vehicle. So it's a workable unit for you. Very nice across the front. Nothing more to be said about it. I mean, everything on it's brand new on the front. The paint's outstanding on the vehicle. Side marker lights, you can see they're nice and clean. The fender flares the same way, real nice, black, a little bit of a edge to them. Brand new BFGTA tires on the car, white letter. Again, Bronco designation on the side. Front windshield appears to be tinted, as are side windows also. The wiper arms are the correct arms and blades for this Bronco. Truck style mirrors on it, painted black to accentuate them with the black accents on the Bronco itself. You can see the fit and finish of the car is beautiful. Rocker panels, the way they go onto the front fender and the doors. Rubbers around the wings are nice and soft yet nice pliable. Step bars to get in so that you don't have a difficult time getting in and out of the vehicle. The handles on the vehicle, the doors are black chrome. They look as though they're painted. They're not. They're black chrome plated. Really nicely done. Soft top, and believe it or not, with this soft top, this is as quiet or quieter than 2 other hard tops that we have. But it does give you the option to go ahead and take the top down, have a convertible. You still have the hard doors, of course, on the car. But the interior is the original style interior. Dashboard doesn't have any cracks in it. It's got an updated steering wheel on it, tilt steering. The gauges all function on it. It does have air conditioning, and it does blow ice cold also. It's just a nice vehicle. Four-wheel drive, of course. Double shifters for the transfer case and for the high and low range. Okay, looking at our convertible top, the plastic windows on the side and the light in the back is crystal clear plastic. No milkiness at all to it, no scratches, no marks at all. You can see out of the sides and out of the black light just as crystal clear as you possibly could. The back bumper is a tubular bumper to match the front bumper, of course. It's a brush guard type bumper, and this one is a heavy duty rear bumper that's attached substantially to the frame also. And it does have a class 3 hitch in it also, that you could put a drop down on it and use it to pull a boat or water bugs or whatever you want to pull with it. Snowmobiles in my case I'd like to. Back lights are nice and clean in the vehicle. The lenses are crystal clear on it. It does have a nice dual exhaust system on it. Great sounding dual exhaust system. What I didn't mention, it does have not only 4 but also a 5th 35 by 1250 17 set of BFG radials on it. BFG tires, and also has all 5 wheels matched. So you have an extra wheel if something would happen, that you'd happen to ruin one some way or another. You do have an extra one on the vehicle that matches the rest of the vehicle. Back of the vehicle, as you can see, is just as nice and straight as can be. Great looking Bronco. This wheel does, by the way, swing off to the side. You unfasten it underneath, and the wheel swings out of the way so that you do have access to the back portion for storage or to get people in or whatever you need to haul. There is access to the back of the vehicle through removal of this tire off to the side. So you're good to go. Swings right out of the way. Okay, down the passenger side of our little Bronco 2. Just as nice as the other side. You can see the lens is nice and clear, no marks on the quarter panels. The flares themselves are real nice, no distortion on them, held on by flush fasteners in this case that are blackened out so that they're not readily visible. They look like they're part of the vehicle. Very nicely done. Again, black chrome on the handles, the step to get in, matching mirror on the right hand side to complement the one on the driver's side. Again, the car inside is just as nice and new and clean and fresh as you could ever expect. Sun visors match the interior. Dashboard doesn't have any cracks or marks. The seats are original type equipment. They also match the rear seat. It does have a center console glove box that has a ton of room inside of it for storing things. It does have also a remote for the winch in the front. It does have that so that you can actuate the winch remotely. So that's an additional item for this vehicle. Antenna going up the side of the window post like it would have been in 1970s. Doors fit, quarter panels, rocker panel, front fender. You can see everything is aligned just as nicely as could be. This is one of the nicest Broncos we've ever had, ever. Front fender the same way, no marks, no, absolutely nothing to describe to you. I mean, everything is just as nice and clean and fresh as could possibly be on one of these vehicles. It does have an additional domed fiberglass hood. It does have a soft top, which is removable. It has a roll bar inside of it, gives you a little bit of a safety feature. Really a great vehicle. These things are very difficult to find that aren't totally rotted out and just beaten to death. And this is an absolute fantastic find. When Kevin found this, I mean, I flipped out over it. It was just that nice a vehicle. It came out of a collection. It's a vehicle that's hard to duplicate. This particular one has a suspension lift. It has the tires. It has air conditioning, power steering, power brakes, coolers on it. Anything that you could possibly add to this. An 8,000-pound winch in the front, trailer hitch in the back. This thing is ready to do any kind of duty that you want to do with it. You want to pull something with it within reason, you can. If you want to use it as a play toy, a beach comber, take it to the mountains, whatever you want to do with this vehicle, it'll handle it. It's made to do that. Really, really well executed restoration of this vehicle. Very solid, no rust issues, no problems undercarriage. It's a great example of a first generation Bronco. It's available here at HANKSTERS, and I don't know for how long, because the last couple we had vaporized. So this one's here now, so better call and get it. Okay, Al at HANKSTERS in Daytona Beach, Florida. We're underneath our first generation Bronco, the mint green one. When this vehicle was done, the gentleman that did it must have stood back and said, let me see how much money I can possibly spend on a vehicle and how much I can do to it. Because that's what was done to this thing. Steering stabilizer, new heavy-duty shock. Engine was just freshly done. You can see that. Everything on it freshly done, all new seals, everything built in the motor. No leaks, if you've noticed, throughout. On the tranny, on the rear ends, nothing at all. Heavy-duty front disc brakes in the front with new calipers, new hardware, new rotors. There's no way to spend any more money on this thing than you possibly could. New steering box, new pitman arm, new idler arm. Let's see what else we can spend money on. How about stainless headers instead of a regular set of headers? How about a B&M automatic transmission, which I forgot to mention. It does have an automatic as opposed to a 3-speed or a 4-speed. This particular one is an overdrive automatic B&M transmission with the deep pan also. The frame sections are just as clean and crisp as can be. If you notice, there's the shocks in the front are Fox gas heavy-duty shocks. How much more money can you spend on a shock than with the Fox? All new U-joints. CV joints are fine. The no leaks on the transfer case. You can see that it's been freshly done. Floor pans don't have any marks whatsoever on them anywhere. It does have a mechanical fuel pump on it, but it has an additional electric pump under here to not have any problems with vapor lock if you happen to run it in hot weather like in Florida. Again, the floor pan's going back through here. No issues, no dents, no dings, no nothing. All the fasteners are nice and fresh and clean. You can see that the steps going up in, whatever they call them, ironing boards, not ironing boards, what's it called? Steps going up into the vehicle that hold them in place. All the bolts are fresh and new, just as nice as can be. 2 1/8 inch pipes coming off of the stainless steel collectors off the headers, which are long tube headers also, going into Flowmaster mufflers. No marks on the frame toward the back, no marks on the floorboards, the main part of the floor structure. The shaft going out of the double U-joint shaft going out of the transfer case. New to U-joints on it. You can see the slip joint, CV joint, whatever you want to call it, going into the rear end is all fresh and new U-joints on it also. The front suspension, it's a suspension lift on this too, not a body lift, not a cheap way of doing it. This one has a suspension lift, so it has the longer shocks in the front, it has the longer springs in the front, also has the re-arch, the multi-leaf springs in the rear, which you'll see shortly here. But they have a nice strong arch to them to give it a lot of body lift. It's a fantastic vehicle. Someone has spent an incredible amount of money doing this vehicle, and it's absolutely brand new underneath. Okay, rear drum brakes. Again, Fox shocks in the back. Long travel Fox shocks. The springs, as you can see, have a real strong arch to them. It has the locating arms above each spring to help any torsional twist on the rear end due to suspension movement. If you're running this thing really hard through the rough stuff, those will keep it from twisting. You have any problems with U-joints, then none. Skid plate on the gas tank in the rear. 2 1/8 inch pipes terminating out of the mufflers. The car is absolutely brand new underneath. There's nothing I can even say negative anywhere. You can see the floor pans, the entire structure of the vehicle underneath is as solid and nice as could possibly be. The tags and everything are still on the transfer case. U-joints are all new, suspension items all new. The entire vehicle has just been re-engineered with a higher ride height with the proper suspension to go with it. Everything on this vehicle is Class 1. Someone has spent an incredible amount of money, and you're going to save a lot by buying it off of us instead of doing it yourself.